So in yesterday class we have discussed about the biocontrol agency. What is biocontrol? Control of pests by using other organisms. So what are the different biocontrol agents we have discussed yesterday? The best example for ladybird, which feeds on and kills aphids. The aphids generally infest crops, and dragonfly, which kills the mosquitoes and eat. So these are the biocontrol agents in insects. The bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis also acts as a biocontrol to control the caterpillars. Okay, like that there are the trichoderma, a fungus which control many pathogenic organisms in plants. Like that there are many biocontrol agents we have discussed. So what is the major benefits we will get from the biocontrol agency? We can avoid the usage of pesticides. And insecticides. So generally pesticides or insecticides, we know that they are chemicals. So we can avoid pollution by those pesticides and insecticides by using biocontrol agents. So okay, we can avoid insecticides and pesticides by using biocontrol agents. But what about the fertilizers? We are using many fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, urea, potash, different chemical fertilizers we are using in agriculture for crop development. So these are also chemicals, they cause the pollution. So what is the solution to avoid the fertilizers? So here is the solution: microbes as a biofertilizers. Biofertilizers, what is biofertilizers? Bio means living organisms. So fertilizers means the nutrient giving components to the soil. So enrich the soil. Fertilizers are the substances which enrich the soil are called fertilizers. So they may be the fertilizers may be chemical fertilizers, synthetic fertilizers like urea, or biofertilizers. So if we don't have biofertilizers, generally these many farmers depend on chemical fertilizers. For example, urea. They depend on chemical fertilizers to enrich the soil to increase their productivity. So okay, fine, the production is increases, but what will happen? The chemical fertilizers used leads to the pollution of the soil or water. So it is causing pollution of the soil. Okay, next. So what is the alternative thing for this chemical fertilizers is the organic farming. Organic farming means without using chemicals, only biodegradable products will be used for the farming. Then it is called organic farming. Organic farming means no chemicals, synthetic chemicals are used for the crop production. So this is organic farming. In organic farming, we use biofertilizers for the enrichment of the soil, for increase the productivity, increase the production productivity. So biofertilizers which increases the soil nutrient, biofertilizers increases the soil nutrients. So they enrich the soil. Can you give one example for biofertilizers? Well-known example, for example, earthworms. Earthworm increases our soil fertility, our soil nutrient content. This is the best example we know about the biofertilizers. So biofertilizers are, so what are the biofertilizers? Biofertilizers are nothing but organisms which enrich nutrient quality of the soil. So biofertilizers are organisms which enrich nutrient quality of the soil. So biofertilizers are nothing but they are organisms itself. Earthworm is a biofertilizer. It enriches the soil. So organisms which enrich the nutrient quality of soil are called biofertilizers. For example, bacteria. We can use many bacteria as biofertilizers, fungi and cyanobacteria. These are the examples for the biofertilizer. So let us see symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria. Best example, rhizobacterium. Rhizobacterium is a bacteria Rhizobium is a bacteria. It forms a symbiotic relationship with legume plants. For example, Arachis hypoxia, like a groundnut. So it forms Rhizobium bacteria, which forms the symbiotic relationship with legume plant and fix the atmospheric nitrogen, and they supply the nitrogen, fixes nitrogen supplied to the plant. So the plant uses the fixed nitrogen and usifies its metabolism and growth and development. So this is the best example for the biofertilizer. Rhizobium as a biofertilizer. Say next, free living. This is a symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria is rhizobium as a biofertilizer. What about free living? Some free living bacteria in soil also fix nitrogen. Example, Azospirillum and Azotobacter are free living bacteria which fix nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen. So if any soil, if you have any agricultural soil, if productivity is decreasing due to the depletion of nitrogen content, what will you do? You have to depend on Rhizobium and Azospirillum and Azotobacter. Okay na? If you collect the Azospirillum and Azotobacter spores and spray in the field, they will fix nitrogen and the nitrogen content of the soil will increases. So this is another example for the biofertilizer. So let us go to the fungi. So we have seen the different biofertilizers in bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria, Azotobacter and Azospirillum. Next go to the fungi. Some fungi form symbiotic relationship with higher plants. Some fungi. So this relationship, symbiotic relationship, this is called mycorrhiza. So some fungi forms symbiotic relationship around the roots of higher plants. Some fungi form. Some fungi association. Some fungi start associating. This symbiotic association relationship is called mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a symbiotic relationship between fungi and roots of higher plants. So it also, the mycorrhiza, how mycorrhiza helps? Let us see. The members of glomus. Glomus is a fungi. Very important. Glomus is a fungi. They will ask, the examiner may ask, glomus organism belongs to which of the following kingdom? Fungi, Protista, Monera, or plant. Anything. So you have to put fungi. Okay. So like that, lichens belongs to which kingdom? Lichens belongs to fungi. Even though lichens are a symbiotic relationship between fungi and algae, but major component is a fungi. So they placed in the fungi kingdom. Lichens are placed in the fungi kingdom. Here glomus is a one fungi which forms mycorrhiza with the higher plants. So there are many members of the glomus members. Glomus is a genus. There are many species of glomus. So many of the glomus species form mycorrhiza with the higher plants. So fungus. What is the use of this mycorrhiza? In mycorrhiza, the fungus facilitates the absorption of phosphorus by higher plants. So by forming the mycorrhiza around the higher plants, roots of higher plants, it will, by forming the associating with the roots of higher plants, the fungus helps in the facilitating, helps in the absorption of phosphorus by higher plants. Okay, na? They won't supply, the phosphorus won't be supplied by the fungus. But what they do, they facilitate, they help in the absorption of the phosphorus by the higher plants. So that is the best application by the mycorrhiza. So next go to the cyanobacteria. This cyanobacteria are, even though they are bacteria, they are autotrophs. Because they contain chlorophyll. They do photosynthesis. Okay na? These cyanobacteria, they are autotrophs, and many cyanobacteria lives in aquatic and terrestrial habitats. aquatic and terrestrial habitats. Cyanobacteria are autotrophs. Most of the cyanobacteria live in aquatic ante water containing environments, and terrestrial ante soil environment. Terrestrial ante soil, on the soil. So in both environment the cyanobacteria live. These are also best biofertilizers. How they act as a best biofertilizers? Let us see. Many of the cyanobacteria members fix atmospheric nitrogen. Like we have discussed here, bacteria, Rhizobium, Azoospermillum, Azotobacter. They are bacteria. They belongs to Monera group. But cyanobacteria, this is the cyanobacteria. It's not true bacteria. So some members of the cyanobacteria also fix nitrogen. Okay. The best examples are Anabaena, Nostoc, Oscillatoria. These three cyanobacteria are best example for fixing nitrogen. So these Anabaena, Nostoc and Oscillatoria we can use in crop fields to increase the nitrogen content in the soil. So they act as a biofertilizers. So for example, in paddy fields, cyanobacteria are important biofertilizers. In paddy field and rice fields. Rice fields లో ఎక్కువ biofertilizers ఏం యూజ్ చేస్తారంటే ది cyanobacteria. Before starting cropping, they spray the cyanobacteria. So it will fix the nitrogen and increases the nitrogen content of the paddy fields. So these are some of the examples of the biofertilizers. What are the bacterial members we can use as a biofertilizers? Some fungi, for example, glomus members we can use as a biofertilizers. And cyanobacteria such as Anabaena, Nostoc and Oscillatoria also we can use as a biofertilizer. This is about the biofertilizers. The main application of the main use of the biofertilizers usage is they are organic and they are eco-friendly, and we can avoid the pollution by avoiding the chemical fertilizers.